damn, I'm screwing up. This one? Okay. All right, today we're going to be doing some verbal judo. We're going to figure out, or we're going to learn about what it is. It is de-escalation. So we're going to learn how to de-escalate instead of escalate.
Oh, I like
So
this.
there it is, de-escalating confrontations, verbal judo. I think it's based off a book. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. Oh.
Verbal judo. Verbal judo, or tactical communication, is a way
Tactical communication. All right.
I like
of
that.
diffusing
Yes.
conflict through conversation.
Here we go.
Learning how to react to an event correctly will help to reduce confrontations and promote cooperation. This technique can be useful in any type of situation. Whether you are using it at work with your supervisor or at home with your children, learning this technique will teach you how to communicate and listen more effectively.
I'm ready.
It will help you engage others with more empathy and avoid common practices that lead to escalating critical incidents. People want to be respected. They need to know when something is occurring and want the opportunity for second chances. People prefer options, not threats, and would much rather be asked than to be told what to do.
Yeah.
The following are examples of the use
That
of
summary
verbal
was
judo
brilliant.
and tactical communication.
I copy. Just tell me to go to the office, sign in, and get a sticker. Good morning, sir. Can I help you?
I'm fine.
Sir, I need to sign you in and make sure you get a security pass.
I don't have time for this.
Sir, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Seriously?
I'm just going to call the police now.
So it became an ego battle, like real quick, right? Real quick.
Easy way or the hard way? Yeah,
Buddy.
I can relate to this.
Don't put the
Been on
buddy at the end.
receiving end.
You escorted
Yeah.
off the property.
Yeah.
There we go.
I copy.
Wow.
Just tell me to go to the office, sign in, and get a sticker. Good morning, sir. Can I help you?
I'm fine.
Sir, I need to sign you in and make sure you get a security pass.
I don't have time for this.
Sir, security here is important to everyone. I need to get you signed in and I'll get you a sticker. Then I'll assist you going wherever you need to go.
All right.
So validation.
That was
Validation is a
good,
big
yeah.
one. Validation as
Yeah.
opposed to just straight up enforcement is good.
Right.
In scenario A,
I like that.
the visitor, on the defensive, engages the security officer in an argument, effectively wresting control of the situation from the security officer. In scenario B, the security officer maintains control throughout the situation by using verbal judo or tactical communication. The security officer was able to calmly and effectively explain to the visitor the importance of properly checking identification.
All right. So this video is pretty short. That's the only example. I'll just pull this one up real quick.
That was very good, though.
Security officers hold a unique position in society.
right.
They are entrusted with maintaining order, ensuring safety, and protecting.
Safety officers, security officers, for the most part, they can legally carry a gun. They can do all that stuff, but they do not have arresting power. They do not.
People and property. While physical presence and tactical skills are essential, the ability to communicate effectively is paramount. Words have immense power. They can de-escalate a tense situation, build trust, and foster cooperation. Conversely, harsh or insensitive language can escalate conflict, damage.
Why is he eating a donut? Why is the security guy eating a donut? Why is this happening? What kind of B-roll are you putting here? what are you doing?
Like that stereotype, right? Of the security guy or the policeman, police officer eating donuts and drinking
Well,
coffee.
I gotta tell you what, man. The security where I work, there's one guy. He's really tall. He's a giant man, but the rest of them are so fat. Oh my god!
Really?
And you could see them, you know, in time gaining more weight. They get heavier. They don't get lighter. They get because they sit in that chair and they watch They don't even watch the cameras. They're like playing chess and watching movies. I see what they do over there.
Yeah.
Oh my! It is the most sedentary job ever. And once in a while they'll walk around the building.
This confirms a story. A good friend of mine used to work in security. He doesn't anymore, but he basically described exactly what you did. This sedentary, you have to look vigilant, he said. Whether
Yeah.
you are in fact vigilant is another story.
Right.
It's like, and he'd walk around the building and, oh God, it just sounded I don't mean to insult all people that work in security, but in his specific job, it sounded ridiculous.
Believe
I
me,
hate to say it.
they know the gig they're getting into. They know they know how it works.
Right.
relationships
Right.
and undermine the officer's authority. Effective communication is not just about speaking clearly, it's about active listening, understanding nonverbal cues, and responding
There we go.
empathetically. It's about conveying respect, even when dealing with challenging individuals. Security officers who master the art of communication become invaluable assets to their...
So this one's, obviously this isn't a real person talking. There is a book called Verbal Judo. It's a good book. So if you're on the end, I'll just get into it. So if you're on the end of someone who's approaching you, if it's a bar, if it's a lot of other things, the best thing you can do is, stand as squarely as you can. Don't slouch, don't yell, don't whatever, and just try not to take anything they say emotionally. Do not allow your emotions to
That
win.
is great advice.
And if they're like, "Oh, what you doing, motherfucker?" like, who are you? What you doing? What you want? And you're just like, because there's so many, and you're just like, you're just trying to maintain your role, right? You're playing a role, and then it's just like it's conflict because people don't want to be told what to do, especially if they're having a good time. So they normally have backup. You got to know you got backup, and you just got to maintain a certain level of respect. You cannot get emotional because then you can get charges, and and then also you lose the person, and I don't know. It's just
I think that you and this book, you're absolutely right about it. Trying to separate from that emotion that rises up, because naturally someone says, "Hey sir, you got to stop right here," and there's no reason, it does get like, "Hey, who are you to tell me what to do?"
Yeah.
Right? But then I've been in situations where I felt I've had to de-escalate a lot. Well, not a lot, but
me
enough
too.
times to know that it's true. You stand, you're square, and just a continuous state of calm. Now internally I might be like screaming, but there's that external vision of, oh, okay, and I really try to let me just pay attention to what this person's actually saying. And see if is it really what my emotions are telling me it is. And many times it's not. I'm just trying to diffuse it from there. Like, oh yeah, rough night, huh? Something like that. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you see my ID. Sure. I'll let me get that for you.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And it's helps de-escalate it pretty nicely. So you're right. Yeah. Again, verbal judo.
There is also, it depends. It depends on if you're the one in the role that is trying to maintain the peace. If you're just me and you were just average people and we're dealing with each other, it can be difficult because it just can, because there's a lot of people out there who think they're have a more powerful role than they do. Like, for instance, when an employee treats another employee like they're some sort of manager, when they're not a manager. You're not a manager. You're trying to play a role where you're talking to me like you're superior. You're telling me how to do something. You don't like the way I do it, right? But like they're taking this role where they're a know-it-all. So this is where it gets a little dicey, right? The hardest part is to have the ability to, in other people's mind, for you to take the loss, right? To be like, okay, cool, whatever you want to do, that's great, and then just walk away, because like you're not squaring up, you're just not even playing their game,
That's a great point too. I remember I had a fellow employee who was just like that. He was acting like my superior. He was newer than me.
Oh God.
Job for quite a while.
Oh God.
And he was newer than me. It was a retail job. You can imagine.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
behind the register. He's coming at me hard. So he thinks I'm just staying calm. I refuse to play his game. I'm going to do my job. Well, by sheer coincidence, my aunt and my grandmother happened to see this, and he didn't know that they were related to me. So my aunt goes, "Oh." Now, I recognized her voice right away, but I didn't recognize her. She goes, who do you think you are? She says, treating a fellow employee of your store like this? She says, I'm going to have to tell, so I need to speak to a manager. I can't believe, is this how people relate to each other here? This is terrible. And now I'm trying not to laugh.
Right.
He just dug himself unknowingly into a hole, and
Okay.
I'm not trying to give away that.
How did he respond to this? What was his response?
He was terrified. So after that, he started apologizing. He's like, he asked me, "Do you know that woman?" I said, "Oh no, no."
Good on you.
It's a random customer. I said, "I'm just gonna play now. Now I have the upper hand, but I'm just gonna." I didn't want to like slam him while he's down. All I wanted to do is let him learn a lesson. Just stop.
Oh.
Just stop doing that. I
Yeah.
said, well, I guess customers wouldn't react if we just treated each other with respect.
Wow, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the end of that. As far as I know, I don't know whether he ever got in actual trouble for it.
Right. Well, I think it's an interesting set of circumstances that this was a psyop that you and your family were able to run on this guy. Like, he didn't even coordinate it, right? It was just, it just happened.
No.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was one of those moments in life that I'm like, wow, that was perfect. It was the ultimate psyop. It was completely unplanned. It was just flawless too. It went flawlessly. Thank goodness.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess if I was to share, I realized something about myself, and it comes from like other issues I had about my own self-confidence. So I used to erode my boundaries because I needed money because my mom and dad wouldn't pay for shit. So I would try to hold on to a job because, you know, God forbid, I had to pay everything, my cell phone, my car insurance. I had to always pay to every movie, every time I went out to dinner. I'm young too. So I was always afraid to like lose my job. So I had to be like extra friendly. I had to be like, if somebody was like testing me, I had to endure it because I felt like if I was pushed back, I would get fired and therefore you don't have a job. So now I realize as I'm older, as you do, and something I will certainly get my son involved in, be as direct as possible with people. Be as short and direct with people. Don't be vicious, okay? For instance, so if somebody comes up to me and they're giving me a hard time, right? And they just met me. And you let them do their spiel, a couple sentences, and you don't yell. You just go, listen, I know you don't know me very well, but I do not accept people hovering and disrespecting me. And just boom, put it out there.
Just lay it out.
And then they're either going to go, well, fuck you. And if you're in a work environment, you're done because you can just literally go to your superior and be like, listen, I just stood my ground. He's cursing at me. You literally just put it in their face. And if some manager's mistreating you, be like, listen, you're making me very uncomfortable, and you're making like just think about it. Whatever it is, you need to make it concise though. Like say somebody's making you feel small or weak or intimidated, and it's some other coworker, and you're like, when I'm around you, you make me feel very uncomfortable, and then silence, and then they'll just be like, I make you uncomfortable, and you'd be like, I don't want to talk about it. I got to get back to work. And they'll walk around and be like, I make him uncomfortable. And then like, if they keep at it, you'd be like, I told you once, I'm going to escalate. And then it's just like, now you're in trouble. Now this person doesn't want to play. They don't want to play your game. They told you directly and you're still at it. So now they don't want to play anymore. So they're going to just take it to the next level almost immediately.
I like that. I had a little acronym for that. It's clear, direct, and simple.
Yeah.
It should be clear, it should be direct and simple. And I guess you found in your experience this has worked.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Because I have too.
It's in your tone. Don't be squeaky. You just be honest. Be like brutally honest, straight. And be like, listen, I don't got time to play your games. I'm not interested. Like, just go find something to do. Go find something to do. That's a great line when you're just like, go find something to do. Mind your business. Mind your business is a great line. Go find something to do.
Do you ever get that feeling before you do this? Everyone's a little different. I know I do, but when I've been simple and direct, it's worked. But right before I'm about to say it, there's that pit in your stomach.
No,
you don't get that. That's interesting.
No.
Yeah, I actually get this pit.
No.
But when I push through that and say it anyway,
yes,
it works. Like it's like it's all in your
I
frame.
know what you're saying because I used to allow myself to feel fear and anxiety and be like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble, or they're going to be mad at me, or they're going to want to fight.
Right.
There's like a smile I get when I'm like, oh, I get to be serious. I get to not play.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm like, oh, I get to be an adult. Like I get to be like honest and clear, and it's you just take it it happened at my work. Some upper management lady was there for a couple weeks training, and she pulled some nonsense on me, boy. And she ran up on me, and I took a deep breath, and I was just like, I told her exactly what was going on. And she was like, and then I went up to her boss, and I said, listen, we got to talk about so-and-so. And I said, boom, bang, boom. And like 3 other people who were high up came up to me and are like, we solved this. And I was like, cool, I'm still going to report her. And they're like, go ahead, please do. And it was just like, I was like, oh, you want to go? I was like, you think I'm like everybody else in here. I'm just going to be like, okay, you're right. You're going to, no. I was like executing, like, I was just like, I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Like, don't play with me.
This is very good, because for people who might be getting the pit before they actually do something like this when it's called for, I would say you're living proof that you can literally change your mindset. Now you have no issue. It's like, look, this is how it's going to be. Whereas if someone is not as practiced, they might, but this is proof that you can change the outlook on things, because if you realize,
listen,
and I've realized this too, as it works,
yeah,
it's just better.
Do
faster,
yourself
easier.
This is where you get your confidence from. Let's be clear.
Exactly.
I just want to be clear. We're all out here fighting to eat and keep the electric and the bills, and we're all here to preserve ourselves. So if somebody's coming around trying to make my day more difficult, trying to like make my job more difficult, and you think I'm just going to stand around and go, oh, you're right? No, you're dealing with an adult. You're dealing with a grown person who's not playing. And once people sense you're not playing, they get scared. They're like, oh, damn, this person's a serious person. And that's what it is. Be fucking serious. Stop playing games. That's how you get a nicer car. That's how you pay your bills. And that's how you have more money in the bank. Don't be a dick. Don't bully people. But don't fucking play. Stand your ground. Don't curse. Don't scream. Be clear. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, there are ways to do it without, exactly like you said. There are ways to do it without cursing, without flying off the handle.
Don't threaten. Don't do none of that.
Of yourself.
Yeah.
Right, because the threat is certainly not the way to do this. Yeah.
And use less words. Don't use more words. Don't repeat yourself. Do not repeat yourself.
Yeah, just once. That's a good point. That's very good advice. Yeah, if anyone's going to do this, don't repeat it. Just know what you want to say it.
And then also,
clearly,
this conversation's over, and just walk away.
There you go.
Walk away. And they're just going to be like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, that was a terrible first impression I just gave, you know? So I only get passionate about it because people, you know, be confident in yourself, man. Fight your fight. Like survive, you know? Procreate, have children, be a leader, be a man if you can. Don't, you know, if you can't procreate, I understand that. But I'm just saying, be brave, but don't be reckless.
All of these things are good for social skills, and since we are social beings as humans, it's very important to get this down, because it does, like you just said, it enhances your survival and reproduction abilities. More than that, you'll get more money in the bank, you'll get more respect. Those who don't respect you, you know, forget them.
They're gone. They're gone. They'll end up with all the rest of the other people who are disrespectful, who end up going to jail.
Exactly.
They'll be with all them other people who love misery and conflict. They'll all go around each other.
They'll coalesce around each other and let them be.
And they'll probably end up destroying each other anyway. So, like, also, here's one thing. I'm telling people to be, you know, sort of aggressive. When you are in a position, when someone has, like a law enforcement officer, when someone has arresting powers, when you're making a scene, when you are trespassing, you have to understand that you need to comply and just move on. Because when someone has
be smart about
power over you, that is state-run, community-run, or federally run, you as an individual do not have power over them, and you can in the courts win, but it's going to be expensive. So do yourself a favor and just comply within reason and get out. Go away. Just get out.
It's true. There are things, just comply with what, let's say it's a police officer or someone like that. Comply with what the person's saying. There are things you can ask in a situation. If you do it respectfully,
Mm-hmm.
you can get a badge number later. But just don't do anything. I'd say, yeah, be smart about standing your ground. I'd argue.
Yeah.
I'd say, and don't do anything that make your situation worse. Try to stay level and de-escalate if you
Yeah.
can.
And also, again, the same rule applies. Don't repeat yourself and do not overshare. Just do the basics and get out. You know, people aren't your friends. The people who have more power than you, don't treat them like you're your buddy, because they're not treating you like they're your buddy. You know, you're not their buddy. They're there to run an investigation. So when someone's pulling an investigation on you, be vague, be clear, and get out of there. That's what I think.
There you go. Yeah, well said, man.
Yeah,
Well said.
the world's a treacherous place, dude. There's just so many individuals with their personalities. There's so much going on out there. There's just so many different little peoples running around with their personalities. There's so many institutions and FBI and Texas, and you know, there's just a lot of shit going on there, man. You got it's difficult to win your battles, you know?
Yeah, it helps too. Like I find mindfulness helps. Just trying to separate my feelings in a given moment from what's happening, so I can see, to the extent I can, what's actually happening. Not as much what I feel like's happening or what I think is happening, but what's really happening. Is the person actually yelling at me?
Yeah.
Is this person actually out to get me or anyone, or is it just? Could this just be all a misunderstanding? And hence, you know, if I can de-escalate using this verbal judo technique.
Yeah.
Several of them.
There's a lot more to the verbal judo. There is a whole book where they got way more scenarios and things like that. I think it's I just give my personal experiences. Another thing too is expand your worldview and think about the other people who are interacting with you, not just you interacting with them. Think about, she's a female. We're in this environment. We're in this work environment. That's a male. That's a senior citizen that's talking to me. Like, understand the context of the character that is interacting with you.
That's a good point.
You know?
Context is king. And going back to what you said earlier, in a way, about what I understood you said, practice. Go out into the world, experience it, expand your mind, learn, do things, try things out. It comes with practice, and confidence, I think, ultimately comes from a kind of competence. And if you're socially competent as much as you can be, you're going to get that confidence. If you're clear, direct, and simple, and you're able to stand your ground when it's appropriate, it's going to work. You know,
I think confidence comes from the ability to be indifferent. Indifferent is when you don't care if it goes this way or that way. You're fine either way. You're willing to walk at any time.
And you can walk away, right? Yeah, walking away isn't hurting your pride or whatever people think that. Yeah,
nope. You just exactly. the indifference. The indifference is how you look the coolest, right? Because you're just like, you know, when the girls are like, it's like, I like the bad guys. Like, what are you doing this weekend? And the guy goes, whatever I want. And you're like, ooh, what a rebel.
Oh man, he's the one for me, right? The stereotypical.
What do you think
guy,
of?
Right? Yeah.
What do you think of so and so? He ain't shit to me. You know?
Whatever. Yeah, you're right though. There's something
flippant.
to that attitude. So, yeah,
it's good when you're young. It's cool, you know. But anyway, I actually like this topic. I went a little long, 23 minutes.
Social arts, right?
Anything else?
No. I think we covered the sum of all things. I think we, or at least most of it.
All right. And with that, we are out.